Hello and welcome to pmclounge.com. In this video, we are talking about the develop project charter process. Now, a lot of things that you're going to see being referenced in this video are concepts and topics that we have already talked about. So everything that is being referenced in this video will be linked in the description below. So check that out. Also, if you're into reading articles, first link in the description is going to take you to a relevant article on this topic over at our official website, pnclounge.com. So do check that out. Also, this process is part of the integration management knowledge area. So if you want to go over other videos in this knowledge area, check out the second link in the description below, as it is the playlist of all the videos of integration management knowledge area. Okay, before we start, I'd request you to like this video. That is the only way YouTube is going to notify you every time we upload new videos. So hit that like button. Okay, let's talk about develop project charter. This is actually the first process in the entire process group knowledge area mapping, also known as the PGKA mapping. Your PMP courseware has several processes. This is the first one. So here is the PGKA mapping that I was referencing. Integration management is the knowledge area. The process group is initiating process group, and develop project charter. This is the process that we are talking about today. This knowledge area, integration management knowledge area, has other processes as well, and we have actually touched upon all of these in our previous videos as well. It was just that we never covered develop project charter process earlier. We talked about project charter and we talked about a lot of things that you are going to see in this video, but never this process. So that is why I'm creating this video. So what is this process all about? What does it do? As the name suggests, this is where you create the project charter, and project charter is a formal document which is created in this process. Now, this document, it formally authorizes the existence of the project and it assigns a project manager. If you are the project manager, your name will actually be mentioned in the project charter document. The project charter document is going to clearly state that you are going to be the project manager, right? So and so is the project manager for this project. So it is via this project charter that you as a project manager obtain the authority to make use of organizational resources for your project activities. So these resources are your team resources. These resources are even the physical resources that you need for the project. Now, let's say you are working in a matrix environment. People don't really report to you. They have their own functional managers and they report to their functional managers. If you go to a functional manager and you ask for 2 developers for your project, and you go to a test manager and ask for 2 testers for your project, they might as well say, well, who are you and what project is this all about? That's where you need to show them the project charter. Most likely, if the project charter is baseline, the test manager, the functional manager, all other functional managers, the development managers, they're already aware of this project. They're already aware that you are the project manager. And that is the important of the project charter. So once it is formally baseline, all key stakeholders already know that there is this project and this guy is going to be the project manager for it. So when you go and ask for resources, be it team resources, be it physical resources, they already know the existence of the project. They already know that you are the project manager and they are going to assign those resources to you. So that is the important of a project charter. If somebody does not know that a project exists, if somebody does not know that you are the project manager, you can always ask them to refer to the project charter, because that is the document that formally authorizes you to make use of organizational resources. All right, let's talk about the formal definition of this process. A bit of a repetition, but this is the process of developing a document that formally authorizes the existence of a project and provides project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources, be it team resources or physical resources, to project activities. Like I said, something that we have already discussed, a bit of a repetition, but this is the formal definition for this process of developing the project charter. A quick reminder, do check out the playlist section of our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/PMC Lounge/playlist. This is where the gold is. This is where you will find all the videos of individual knowledge areas and individual topics cleanly distributed. So check it out. An important point to note here is that the document project charter is actually the link between the project and the strategic objectives of the organization. It should be noted that a project is always part of the larger picture. The larger picture is the strategic objectives of the organization. A project is not just a set of activities which is performed in a standalone or in a silo environment. It always represents a piece of the larger picture. It always represents the strategic objectives and strategic directions and goals of the organization, right? So that is the reason why projects are taken up. Nobody is going to invest large sum of money on a project that has nothing to do with the organization's strategic objectives. Another thing is the inputs, tools and techniques and outputs. And I always say this, PMP exam is not a test of memorization. You don't have to memorize all the inputs, tools and techniques and outputs of all the process. And that is not something that I even cover for most of the processes. I'm going to cover it here because this is the first process in the PMP courseware. And the other thing is we have already covered all these inputs, tools and techniques and outputs in separate videos. So I will share a link to all these videos in the description below so you can check that out. With that being clear, that being said, let's look into the inputs, tools and techniques and output. So the inputs are business documents, namely business case and benefits management plan. We've already discussed these two, but just for the sake of this video, business case, it justifies why the company is doing a project. Benefits management plan may also be referred to in the creation of the project charter. It talks about the benefits that a project is going to offer, be it short term, be it long term, be it over the course of multiple projects. Agreements, these are basically documents about everything that you have agreed to so far. So far, when you are creating your project charter, what are the things that you have agreed to? Be it with your key stakeholders, be it with your external customer, be it with your vendors, anything that has been agreed upon, right? Any MOUs that have been signed, all those are referred to when you are creating your project charter. These are inputs to your project charter. These agreements could be internal or external as well. Then you have EEF and OPA. Both of these we have discussed in separate videos, so I'll share the link in the description below. Okay, what are the tools and techniques? These are again stuff that we have already discussed. Expert judgment, data gathering. It involves brainstorming, focus groups, interviews, interpersonal and team skills, meetings. These are the tools and techniques of this process. Expert judgment, you basically have experts. They look into what's happening in your project and they give you an advice. You've got data gathering. This is where you work with different key stakeholders. You brainstorm on what should be the content of the project charter. You have got focus groups, you interview people, then you have interpersonal and team skills, basically your communication skills, your soft skills, your negotiation skills. All those skills are used in the creation of the project charter. Okay, so what are the outputs of this process? No points for guessing. The first thing is the project charter. And the second thing is assumption log. Now, when you're creating the project charter, you need to keep track of all the assumptions that you're making. And there will be a ton of assumptions, to be frank, because right now the project work hasn't even begun. Everything is at a very high level. Everything that is being discussed about the project is at a very high level, and that is why you will have a lot of assumptions. So just to make sure that these assumptions are documented somewhere, you make use of a document called assumption log. So these assumptions are going to help the team understand what was considered when the project was approved. So 6 months down the line in the project, If you are confused about something, you might want to check the assumption log. What was assumed when the project charter was being created? So that is why documenting the assumptions is actually critical. Question for this video: what can go wrong if you don't create a project charter? I know many project managers out there are delivering projects, but they do not even have a project charter. So if you don't create a project charter to begin with, what can go wrong in your project? Definitely looking forward to your answers. Let me know in the comments below. That's all that we had in this video. I hope you got value out of it. I hope you were able to understand what develop project charter process is all about. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hit the bell icon to stay notified whenever we upload new content. Also, don't forget to check out the website pmclounge.com, your number one free PMP resource. Thank you.